So one of the things I'll say, if it is a context of pastoral care where I'm ministering to somebody who's suffering, if I know them well enough, and if they really know that I love them, I'm sympathetic in the situation that they're in, and we've got the relationship that I can say it, sometimes I will say something like this: remember, your suffering doesn't just belong to you. It
Yes.
belongs to the whole congregation.
That's good.
And the Lord is, the Lord's going to help you through this, but you're going to help somebody else in this congregation because of what you've gone through. God doesn't just mean this for you. He means it for all of us. We need what you're going to get of God's grace through this experience as you're going through. And that's frankly been some of the holiest moments of my pastoral life, have been watching believers battle through unbelievably heartbreaking situations and trust the Lord.
Right.
And I know sometimes they probably walked out of my office thinking they're an utter failure, and I'm going, yes, he still believes in God.
Praise God.
He still trusts in Jesus. That is awesome. And it's such a witness to me. I'm going, well, how would I do in that situation? So in pastoral care, I want to be edifying those brothers and sisters, but I want them to be edified so that they can edify their brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And that's part of what I'm thinking about in pastoral care. How about you? When you do pastoral care,
You're just getting me thinking, because we think of course, money as a stewardship, but you're saying suffering as a stewardship. And one of the privileges we have as pastors is to help our people come to see it as such and to steward it well. And that image of yes, they're still believing. There's actually a verse, the very last book of the Bible, Revelation 22:4. This is warning, just a little bit of a tangent, but Revelation 22:4, they will see his face. Speaking of the servants of the Lord, of the redeemed in the age to come, they will see his face, and his name shall be on their foreheads. Now, we could have, of course, just talked for an hour about they shall see his face, because that's kind of the high watermark of the Bible. We've Garden of Eden, age of the eye, walking with God in the cool of the day, banished from Eden. We've been in the age of the ear. We know him not by seeing his face, but by hearing his word. But the day is coming when we'll return to the age of the eye. Yeah. We'll see his face. But the second part of that verse is one of those kind of strange, cryptic phrases that you find in Revelation. His name will be on their foreheads. When I studied that, I realized that was a kind of ancient way of talking about identity, not in the modern sense, but you would, stamp your name on what belonged to you. Let me put it this way. If I'm in the grocery store with my kids and one of them starts to have a meltdown, young child throwing a temper tantrum, in that moment, insofar as my name, as it were, is stamped on their forehead, I want the font to shrink. Like, if there's an innocent bystander, I have
no idea who this child is.
Yes. I'm going to make a statement like that. Not my kid. God's the opposite.
Yeah.
He's the opposite. His name will be on our forehead. And I have this picture of, because we know this in pastoral ministry, many of us are chronic strugglers. The mark of a healthy Christian is not that you have no struggle with sin. It's that you have a great struggle with sin. Only one person has lived the victorious Christian life, and we name the thing after him. Yeah. All the rest of us are, if we're honest, we're not probably going to cross the finish line into heaven in a blaze of glory. Yeah. We're going to be crawling, scratching, clawing our way with the communion of saints in order to make it. Yeah. And in that moment, when we see his face and we've crawled across the finish line, the King of Heaven is going to lift us and look us in the eye and say, "Welcome home. I am not ashamed to call you brothers. My name is on your forehead, and I've never regretted saving you." And so that is the heart behind pastoral ministry. To the degree we forget that a shepherd is fundamentally a sheep. So, of course, we could go to John 10. Jesus is saying, I'm the good shepherd. So any pastor is an under shepherd under Jesus. And I think bad things start to happen if we forget that we are first and foremost a sheep before we're a shepherd.